These women in the video are so evil, so deeply wicked, so devoid of love and warmth that you could see it just by looking at them. We've talked on the show today about Erika Kirk's powerful address at Charlie's memorial, but not everybody appreciated it, as you know. Many on the left have been viciously attacking her for the last 2 weeks, and especially over the past couple of days after her speech at the memorial. So for our daily cancellation today, I want to play a few examples of these attacks. Because it's important for you to know what we're up against. And we are up against the sorts of people who ruthlessly mock and condemn a grieving widow and feel absolutely no remorse about doing so. These are not fringe voices either. I wish they were. I wish I could say that only a very few random leftists have attacked Erika and that those random voices were widely condemned by all the normal, decent leftists who would never dream of insulting a young widowed mother whose husband was shot in the throat on camera less than 2 weeks ago. I wish I could say that, but that is not the case. These are not fringe voices. They are not widely condemned on the left. Erika is the one who is widely condemned. And so these are just a few representative samples. Let's start with this one. This is one of the more mild examples that you'll find. Because along with mocking and attacking Erika, some on the left are trying to develop very unclear and unspecific conspiracy theories about her. Watch.
Nothing is a coincidence. Hold on to that thought. Did you know that Charlie Kirk's father, Robert W. Kirk, was actually the architect for Trump Towers? Also, did you know that Erika Lane Kirk won Miss Arizona USA in 2012? Don't forget, Donald Trump ran Miss America from 1996 until 2015. Seeing the correlation here? Now, not saying age difference is a big thing, but did you know Erika was 5 years Charlie Sr.? But this is where coincidences aren't coincidences. People, this was so arranged. And there's so much more to Erika Kirk. Kind of like how she was all into basketball, didn't want to be all girly, never liked to dress up, even cut all her hair off, and ended up being Miss USA. How does that happen? How do you go from sports to Miss USA? And then they meet at a Turning Point event in 2018, where she's interviewing for a job for Turning Point. Solidified. I got a feeling there's more to the story here.
So this giant talking thumb with a soul patch has put all the pieces together. This 56-year-old man with a backwards hat has cracked the case. Now, what case has he cracked exactly? Who knows? It's not at all clear what he's even trying to imply here. All he's done is recite random facts from Erika's Wikipedia with suspenseful music in the background. And if you're very stupid, you can make anything sound like a conspiracy if you say it with suspenseful music in the background. Even the most banal and unremarkable facts become eerie and shocking. At least if you're stupid. And in this case, Mr. Thumb wants us to see evidence of some kind of unspecified conspiracy in the fact that Charlie Kirk's dad was an architect and Erika Kirk was a beauty pageant contestant. This is strange, apparently, because Erika also played basketball. How could an athletic woman who enjoys sports also be in a beauty pageant? Mr. Thumb is shocked. He's confused. Women who like sports are supposed to transition into men. Wait a minute, are you saying it's possible for a woman to enjoy traditionally masculine things like sports while also still remaining a woman? What? How is that possible? What is this sorcery? And then Erika went on to meet the head of Turning Point USA at a Turning Point event? How? What? Aside from the fact that a Turning Point event is the most logical place for her to have met Charlie, how in the world did that happen? Aside from the fact that there's absolutely nothing even remotely strange or surprising in any of the details he just laid out, how is it possible? How did this really normal stuff happen? Now, granted, to a guy who hasn't left his basement or been exposed to direct sunlight in decades, I guess, the concept of people meeting each other in real life is pretty bewildering. So maybe you can see where he's coming from. But as I said, that was by far one of the more mild anti-Erika videos. It gets much worse than that. And I do think, again, it's important to highlight some of these because we have to know what sort of people we're dealing with. And with that in mind, here's a very brief montage of some of the more vile entries in this genre. Watch.
As expected, Charlie Kirk's wife, who everyone was feeling so sorry for, oh my god, I don't feel bad for him, but I feel bad for her. Yeah, she's also an incredibly right-wing person who's using this moment to push an authoritarian agenda against the left. Are you all gonna realize that the women who marry these freaks know exactly what situation they're getting into, and the reason they get in that situation is because they want to be there.
If you felt yourself some warm, fuzzy, positive feelings after watching the white Christian nationalist event yesterday disguised as Charlie Kirk's memorial service, this one is not for you. And to the MAGA person who right now is in the comments getting ready to type out, "You're just jealous," I don't think you thought that one through.
This is Erika Kirk.
Cue the fireworks. She good to go with the tissue? All right, just keep it away from the sparks. Where's the tissue guy? Hey, she held that a little longer than we discussed. Here's where she needs to look up to the heavens. Nailed it. Did you tell her to do that thing, like where she mouths her prayer, so everybody can see it? Remind me to tell Wardrobe that they nailed it with the white. It's very angelic. All right, she's kind of milking the applause thing. Tell her to get going. Is she on like beauty pageant autopilot?
It's giving Amber Heard. My dog stepped on a bee. I forgive it. The way she's switching, I'm trying my best to see the authenticity in this woman, but it's so hard. Then she goes on to say the answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love and always love. Then she says love for our enemies. Now all of that does not reflect Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk did not reflect love for his enemies. Charlie Kirk hated people. He openly hated people, and he said some of the worst things.
Well, that's about as much as I think anyone can stomach. These are hard to watch. They're hard to watch almost in the same way that it would be hard to watch a video of somebody vomiting or of sewage spilling out of an overflowing porta potty. It's disgusting. It's hideous. History, economics, literature, the Constitution. Did you actually study these in school? Probably not, or you got some watered-down version that missed the point entirely. Time and technology have changed a lot of things, but they have not changed basic fundamental truths about the world, our country, and our place in it. That's why I want to share something I think you'd find valuable. Hillsdale College is offering more than 40 free online courses that cover everything from C.S. Lewis and Genesis to the Roman Republic and early Christian history. I've been really enjoying their Constitution 101 course, which dives deep into design and purpose of our Constitution, the challenges it faced during the Civil War, and how it's been undermined over the past century by progressive and liberal ideologies. The course is completely self-paced with 12 lectures, so you can start whenever works for you. Honestly, I believe our country desperately needs more Americans who truly understand the Constitution and can stand up to our freedoms and freedoms against an increasingly large and unaccountable government. If you care about preserving what makes America great, I'd encourage you to check out this free Constitution 101 course. It's a great eye-opener to how much we've drifted from our founding principles. Go right now to hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll. There's no cost. It's easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu/Walsh to enroll for free. hillsdale.edu/Walsh. These women in the video are so evil, so deeply wicked, so devoid of love and warmth that you could see it just by looking at them. They've been deformed by their own hatred. It seeps out of them like acid out of their pores. It disfigures them. But the videos are instructive. Instructive, for one, because there are so many videos like this, and most of them have hundreds or even thousands of likes and approving comments. Again, these women are not the fringe on the left. They are the majority. They are the mainstream. And it's also instructive because they are so genuinely confused by Erika. This is kind of the theme of the show today. They're confused. Just like the people on the left that saw these expressions of religious devotion, Christian piety. They're confused by it. They've never seen anything like it. And in a similar way that many of them, like the women in those clips, confused by Erika. They see a woman deeply distraught over the loss of her beloved husband, and they can't believe that it's real. They call it performative. They assume that it's all for show. They laugh and they scoff at it. And that is not performative on their part. They genuinely can't understand even on a theoretical level, what Erika is experiencing. Erika loves Charlie. She is reacting exactly as anyone who loves another person would react in a similar situation. But these women have never loved anyone or been loved by anyone. They look at genuine expressions of grief and mourning the way that, I looked at my algebra textbook in 7th grade. Total incomprehension, which, like me with algebra, quickly turns into anger and resentment. This is the driving force behind leftism. And it's never been more clear than it's been over the last couple of weeks. This is an ideology driven by people, predominantly women, who have never experienced love or devotion. They've never received it. They've never given it to anyone else. They are lonely, bitter, full of envy. This is why they want to tear down the institution of the family, because they've never had one, at least not a functional or healthy one. It's why they despise marriage, because they will never find a man who will devote himself to them. And even if they did find such a man somehow against all odds, they would be incapable of giving that level of devotion in return. They are morally bankrupt, spiritually impoverished. They are starving for love and human connection, but even though they starve for it, they don't long for it. Right? Longing is too beautiful, it's too human. For them, the beautiful and human things are out of reach. They starve for a thing that they don't even want. So instead, they sit in their lonely apartments and they snarl and snipe at anyone who has the things that they don't have and will never have. Love, faith, happiness, even grief. They even envy Erika's grief, because you can only grieve what you have loved. And these people have never loved anyone or anything. Grief is painful, but it's beautiful because it comes from love. They have no beauty in their lives at all. They live in total spiritual darkness all the time, so fully absorbed into themselves that they have become the human equivalents of black holes. They don't emit light. They can only consume and destroy it, or at least they can try. But Erika's light will not be extinguished by these sad, pitiful creatures. Neither will yours, neither will mine. They'll continue impotently snarling like neutered dogs behind a fence. And we will live our lives of love and faith. We will eventually die, and our loved ones will remember us and tell stories about us, carry on our legacies. They will die, and only their cats will mourn them until someone else comes along to fill the food bowl, and then even their cats will forget that they exist. And that's what they're actually so upset about. And that is why they are all today canceled. If you'd like to see what else I have to say, you can access my full show by going to dailywire.com or by going to the Matt Walsh Show Twitter page. Hope to see you there. Godspeed.